Welcome to another episode of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons Tomb of Annihilation. Excuse me, where people rush to take their dogs out just before the stream starts. So,
Suddenly
well,
pee break.
That's right. Welcome to episode 49. Do as you oughter, add Ulfgar to water, or to acid. I don't remember. Do as you oughter, add acid to Ulfgar. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's over. I messed it up.
It's beautiful. Let's workshop it later.
I mean, later is the perfect time.
So anyway, let's do some intros, and then we'll do a recap. We'll start with the bottom right corner. Kashcah.
Oh, hi. I'm the DM. I'm going to try not to kill anybody today.
So you're already working with a negative. So, straight up from her, we have Gao, as well as another... Never, what are you doing? Straight up from her, we've got Gao, the NPC, along with a few others that are kind of hanging out. We'll get to the NPCs some other time, but right now Gao and Flippy are currently the other side of the pit of lava and are much safer than we are. And next to them is Rorax.
Hi, I'm Rorax. I have a YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. Come check me out at RoraxPlays on the YouTubes. But I am playing a Centaur Cleric named Aelia. Hi.
And she is currently also on the other side of the lava pit.
I am. I'm just straight chilling.
In safety with some NPC kids there. And then next to Rorax we have Nerevar.
That will be me. I'll be playing Tobias Salazar, who is a Spacial sorcerer, and he's commanding his Eidolon dragon-like friend Arokh Ironscale.
Mm-hmm. And next to Nerevar, which also has a Twitch channel, check him out, is Kellisto.
I'm Kellisto, the Bear God Clan, and I am a half-elf druid.
You say that way too easily these days. I'm disappointed.
It's episode 49.
But look how many episodes it took you to get there.
Well, true.
Because the goading probably didn't help. All right.
I miss half druid.
Next to her is Valia, who is played by Lyssa, who will not be joining us today. She is currently enjoying the Memorial Day weekend with barbecuing out our family. And then, but she typically plays Valia, Bonesmasher, who is a very friendly and lovable character by the name.
Doesn't try to eat anybody ever.
Lizardfolk Barbarian, who likes to bite things and eat them and argue with
She's very
Ulfgar.
passive.
She's opinionated.
A little bit.
She has her opinion.
And next to her is myself. I'm Vallen. I'll be playing Ulfgar Holderheck, a dwarven bard, divine sorcerer, Valor, something like that. He's a multi-class, but he's primarily a bard with a little bit of divine sorcery. And then, excuse me. To recap, last episode we were on the other side of a large pit of lava that was separating us from the temple that we needed to get to obtain a puzzle cube in order to unlock the way, which we don't know where that way is yet because certain NPCs won't reveal this information and cooperate. But Valera, and I'm looking at you. And so we've got people tried crossing the pit of lava, whether they were flown across very easily or if they were butt roped across by a specific little transforming druidic spider. And then those people that came across, we explored into the temple, found a room filled with stony archers, I guess.
Statues? Yep.
Stony statue archers that didn't have any bows or anything in their hands at the time.
They had bows.
They had bows, but they didn't have any like arrows or anything at the time. And then there were these small side rooms, as you can see. We could see through arrow slits. Excuse me, which all three of these rooms had puzzle cubes in them, strangely. And so we took all of them. only to find out that when you take them all and you put them all, we took the side ones first. Then when we tried taking the third one, bad things happened. All the stone archers came to life and started shooting anything that they could that was in the area. It did not seem like they were pursuing people, just shooting anybody that they could see, which really pincushioned a lot of people.
I mean, I'm shocked that those statues came alive, aren't you? Shocked.
I was kind of surprised myself. Everybody stayed in there. Let's see what happens when we push this button with all these arrows pointing at us. But hey, I can't complain because Ulfgar decided, you know what? Someone's got to run back in there to get those puzzle cubes because his mage hand was not reaching as far as it should have for some reason. It was just coming up shy.
Hey, weird magic. What can I say?
Weird magic, temple magic, of course. So he decided he would...
Hey, you're a sorcerer. That's wild magic. Thank you very much.
No, he's not wild. He's not a wild magic sorcerer. He's a divine magic sorcerer. Thank you very much. Big difference. He doesn't go boom. He just falls in pits of acid like he did here. He took a step forward, triggered a trap, apparently, that nobody had triggered yet. And, yeah, fell down. He cast Featherfall and cushioned his fall into that nice puddle of acid at the bottom.
Slowly drifted into the acid.
So it's like falling through cobwebs in Minecraft into a pit of lava. But so he is slowly dissolving. And that's, I believe, where we left off. Valia tried grabbing for him, but missed her opportunity. I think Tobias laughed and pointed. And then
he did.
and I think Kellisto was currently just trying to breathe because she had been pincushed. You got knocked unconscious twice last time, right?
Yes.
What was the first time?
The snakes.
Oh, right. Yes, we were ambushed by a bunch of chupacabras or something in there. What were they? Jaculis. That's right. I got them in here. Yeah. They jumped out of the trees and bit you in the face. Yep. Never good. Never a good sign.
Spring attack.
Yes. So yeah, this is where we return. And Kashcah, shall I say what Ulfgar's reaction is to falling in the pit now?
Sure. Go for it.
Okay. So upon him falling in the pit, he cushioned his fall with the Featherfall reaction spell, but he still notices that his boots are starting to melt. Ulfgar would throw a grunt in the air and toss his shield down and stand on it in hopes to prolong his death long enough to get out of the pit. And that's about where I've got.
Okay.
Anything you want to do there, Kashcah?
So I will say that so you toss the shield down, stand on the shield, but there is still this stuff that was at the bottom of the pit on your boots. So the stuff that is still on your boots is still, it's still letting off you can see little wisps of kind of...
Can I press the digitation to clean it off?
I guess.
I will do that.
Right, hang on.
He's a big prestidigitation cleaner user. He's also a big shield user, but not in this manner usually.
Okay. So yeah, so you can take a round to kind of do that.
Okay. Help! I fell! Get me out of here, I'm burning!
There is this kind of... Where's Tobias is probably the closest one. Tobias, there's this weird smell coming from the pit now. Smells like burning leather or something. Pretty gross.
Wow.
I don't think Valia could reach.
Valia is gonna take a step that way. Why is Valia upside down? I just noticed.
That was the direction she was facing before,
Okay.
I guess.
I was gonna ask.
Jesus.
Oh god.
The anti.
Alright, so Valia takes a step aside. And she might step down here.
Okay,
She probably goes, I can't reach him, and walks away.
Stupid dwarf.
Okay, what I am seeing?
So you're seeing it's 5 feet wide, square, 10 feet deep, with a stinky dwarf at the bottom standing on his shield.
There's acid down here. Get me out. But look out for the arrows at the end of the hallway.
I crawl over and I shout, "Is it rising?"
Is it rising?
Make a perception check. How are you going to measure if it's rising or not?
I can look at the wall.
You're just kind of standing there squinting at the wall. Like, is that going up? Go on then.
Is it creeping up and over the shield?
No, it does not appear to be rising.
No, but I'm sinking in it.
There is this kind of burning smell now coming from your shield.
Yep.
What's your shield made of?
It was the Goblin Chief's shield.
Oh god. Hang on. I gotta go find this thing.
I cast Water Walk. So basically, it now treats the acid as a solid surface.
So it's like I'm walking on
I think
magma.
that will prevent burning.
A harmless solid ground, as if it were harmless solid ground. That's what the thing says.
Oh, water, acid, mud, snow, quicksand, or lava, as if it were harmless solid ground.
I mean, it won't fix your shoe.
No, that's all right. Right now, it's fixing me getting melted.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I've lost the connection here. Let's switch to Singapore.
Yeah,
Oh, you're back.
One second.
Oh boy.
GM is done.
Kashcah.
Discord just completely went blank.
Kashcah, come back.
I tried.
Sorry, folks. Discord problems.
I'm reconnecting.
It happens. I see mouse symbols. Oh, hey, welcome back.
Okay.
Yeah, reality started to collapse and then now we're back.
So you are able to kind of the liquid below you is no longer hurting you, and also you're, well, I don't know. Well, you're standing on your shield, so I don't know how much of this you would realize. But
well, I mean,
you see Kellisto casting.
Would I be able to recognize the spell she's casting?
You've seen it a couple of times before, so probably you think it's water walk.
I would shout down. You can use it. You can step on it now. You've got 1 hour, and then I pass out.
Ulfgar tries dipping a toe on it.
It's solid.
Okay, he does so. He picks up the shield, press the digitation off, clear off what he can. Is it just a handle?
It has so what, we're 3 rounds of you standing on the shield?
Probably.
And until you cast prestidigitation. So it has some holes eaten in it. It's not completely disintegrated or anything, but it does kind of have some holes eaten in it.
Would you say instead of it granting me a +2, it would only grant me a +1? Or it might just have a chance of being destroyed or something?
Yeah, because if somebody hits it in the wrong spot, then it is just going to crack kind of into more than one piece.
Okay. Well, he just puts it on his back at this point, and then he says, "Somebody toss me a rope or a spear or something that I can grab and climb out."
I'm going to unravel the rope from my belt and toss it to Ulfgar, holding the other side.
Oh god, yeah. So yep, down comes the end of a rope towards you.
Grab on. Try climbing up. Do you want me to make the athletics check for the 10 feet?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, you're fine.
Cool.
Clamber, and you're up at the top. Which side are you? Well, you're going up on Tobias's side, or are you?
Right now, my priority is to get out of the pit.
Okay.
But now we've got a pit. Is there a way that I can actually traverse around it?
Negative. There's no like little ledge or anything, if that's what you're looking for.
So I guess one way or another, Ulfgar says, "Look out, Tobias! Pull back. They've got arrows in there. You might get hit." He says, "I don't know how I can get across."
Let me think. I'm pulling my hands towards the outside, and I'm going to use Molten Earth, and I'm going to chuck as much dirt into the hole as I can.
Okay.
So fill this gap with dirt.
Okay. So yeah, there's this kind of like slight rumble as this little like river of dirt kind of flows up the steps from like down here-ish, flows up the steps and into the pit. And yeah, you're able to, after a couple of rounds, you're able to get it to the point where it's, you know, something that you could step on, actually.
Pit of despair.
Could you remind me how tall is the hallway?
I don't know that we actually had that measurement. Let's say, hang on one sec, let me check. See if it gives it.
Oh, I think we had the width of the arrow slits. I don't think we had the height of the hallway.
Yeah, there's no height on the hallway. So is there a height on the other rooms though? Let's say it's 15 feet.
15 feet. Okay. I'm proceeding with my mold. I'm going to make a barricade in this place, like a 5 feet wall of dirt.
Okay. Yeah, it'll take
so just to give us some cover.
It'll take you a little bit, but yep, you're able to get like this kind of mound of dirt at the end that is fairly tall. So are you and you're staying where you're at to do that? Does this
yeah, for now, right. Here we go, Ulfgar. Now you have the cover.
All right. How long would you speculate that might have taken?
1 sec, let me look at this really quick. Okay. You can deposit it up to 5. Oh, so you can only deposit the dirt up to 5 feet away.
Right. So I mean, I'm sure he had to like recast it 5 feet, and then 5 feet, and then 5 feet. So this is why I'm thinking this is going to take him a while to do this.
Well, also, so yeah, how are you going to reach that bit? How are you going to reach like this bit?
I think he was filling the pit first, and then he was going to travel across it with more dirt.
Yeah, but this would still be like 10 feet away, right? From if you're standing in the pit, that's still 10 feet away.
Oh, right. But, you know, he moves 5 feet of it, and then he takes that 5 feet that he moved, and then he moves it again.
Well,
so it's like 2 rounds.
Hang on 1 second. First of all,
okay,
you're Ulfgar.
Sorry.
Tobias, how are you moving the dirt over here?
I'm going to make myself first. I'm going to fill the pit.
Okay.
And then I'm going to create not this select move. I'm going to create a wall which is 5 feet tall, and I'm going slowly pushing it along with myself towards there.
Okay.
Trying to stay behind.
Okay. So as soon as you step on this square, guess what happens?
falls.
There's a stone grinding noise as the floor beneath you opens up, and you are dropped into a pit that is 5 feet wide by about 5 feet wide by about 10 feet deep, and
it's full of acid.
and it's very slippery on the bottom of it, and stand there for a sec. Don't take any fall damage because it's it's not that deep, but you do begin to notice that the slippery stuff on the bottom of the pit is eating away at your footwear.
And
you do have this big pile of dirt next to you, by the way. So...
Yeah. So I'm going to use this as my cover. So I'm going to make a little bit of safe ground there.
Okay. All right. I'm
going to swear out loud.
Ulfgar says, "This isn't as easy as I thought it would be." And is there actually cover, like from his remaining dirt wall?
What you mean, like this cover that's over here?
From the archers, is his dirt wall giving cover to us?
Well, you know what gives cover? The fact that these two squares are now significantly deeper than than this square, so you kind of have some cover that way anyway.
Right.
But the mound of earth that's there didn't get a chance to be like built up really, because immediately upon it moving, Tobias kind of fell in the pit, and yeah.
Okay. Tobias, you okay?
I live.
Oh, but Ulfgar, by the way, you have you have a bit of a hole in your boot. Like, you look down and realize that that's fresh air on your toes, and you do have like a hole in your boot now where it was eaten away enough to you can see one of your toes wiggling through it, unless you've got socks on, of course. Very important.
I'm assuming he's got some kind of padding going on with the armor he's wearing, but sure.
So Tobias, you do have the stuff is still on your boots or footwear or shoes or whatever you're wearing. So it is still, while you're not like dunked in it, it is still on your feet. So the whatever got on your shoes is still eating away at them.
Ulfgar says to Valia, "Here, try and lure him your what do you call it? Your javelin, so he can grab hold and get out." And he moves aside.
Yeah, so Valia will take that suggestion. She steps up onto this dirt bit, and there is like a thin stone wall in between the two pits. So she kind of like leans over and like
smash.
She does have a new warhammer, doesn't she?
She does have a hammer. But she's kind of like got her javelin like sticking over the wall at this point.
Okay. Before I'll grab onto the javelin, I'm going to lean into the pool of acid. I'm going to take a sample into one of my vials.
Okay.
Of course.
Are you getting the sample from the stuff that's in the bottom of the pit, or from what's on your boot, or
from what's on my butt.
Okay, so you scrape a bunch of it off. There's some bits of burnt leather there in with your sample, but they don't last very long actually. Or are you putting it in, like, do you have a glass vial or something, or?
Yeah, I got 10 glass vials.
Okay. So as you're looking at it, actually, you can see it like the stuff is like fizzling around the bits of leather that got scraped off, and just within like a couple of seconds, they disappear into this kind of like just little smudge within the goop that you've got in your vial. So, it eats away, and you look down, and your poor boots are about to be, well, seriously damaged.
Hmm. And it does not eat metal?
Are you going to? How are you going to find out?
I'm going to dunk chatter in it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, Cheddar will tell you.
Right. Chatter says, "Foolish human," as you dunk him in.
I'm dunking dagger next.
But you don't see like anything.
going on?
Nothing bad happens to Chatter aside from him getting a little
Yeah,
more.
of course, because he's enchanted and he's cursed. So, yeah.
So you're dunking the dagger next.
Yeah, I'm trying to dunk the dagger.
Is the dagger magical?
Excuse me. Dagger is not magical.
Okay, the dagger takes some damage.
Okay.
You see the metal start just being eaten away. It gets this very kind of pitted look to it. Pitted look.
Wah, wah.
Okay, I'm done with my experiments.
Are you wiping it off the dagger somewhere? Or...
Wiping into the dirt.
Okay. That'll do it. Yeah.
Okay, Valia, get me out of here.
So she's got her javelin kind of over the wall, so there's just this like wood pole basically sticking down into your pit.
Okay, so
if you want to try and climb it,
yeah, I'm gonna climb it.
Okay, then make an athletics check.
It's a struggle.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you're able to do it, but it's just going to take you a couple of rounds instead of a single round. Let's say that. So, you don't fall flat on your face or anything. It just takes a little longer.
I expected to be dunked in the acid again.
Ulfgar would quickly use prestidigitation to clean off what remaining acid is on you.
Okay. You have a nice hole in your boots as well, where you can see your toes wiggling through.
He says we're gonna have to mend those later. So how do we get back in there? And if we do, what do we do then? We've got the 3 cubes in there, but I don't know what to do with them. I was just going to rush in and grab them, but rushing in there doesn't seem to be as easy as it once was.
I could. I'm not sure how my wind ward will be effective against these arrows, but I might try.
You might also throw those cubes up against the wall and smash them. You could grab them and then execute your spell.
Yeah, but until that happens, I will be looking like pincushion.
Pew 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 pew.
Okay, our safest best bet is that we are going to chuck much more dirt into the shrine, hoping that next tile isn't trapped. And with your helping magic hand will grab the cubes.
Maybe it'll be close enough now.
Kellisto, you start to notice that the sun is kind of going down. Because I believe you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys had headed over here directly after the last one because you were kind of anxious to get it done.
I think so.
So it was getting kind of late in the day.
So I kind of say, hey, you guys, it's starting to get dark. Do we want to take a rest before we continue?
Ulfgar says, I'd rather reunite with everyone if we're going to do that. We've left the others on the other side.
Well, I'm gonna... I don't know what you guys are planning on doing to get those cubes, but I'm thinking I might go into some of those side rooms and check those out
How about it?
and see if there's anything in there.
Careful of floor traps. But you know what? They're separate rooms. Careful of ceiling traps, too.
Yeah. I don't have very many hit points. I'm afraid to go in anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to turn into a little mouse.
Before you do, Ulfgar would... let's say here, let me give you one last boost. And he'll cast a healing word at level 2 on you. And then you can mouse shape.
Okay.
I need that. There we go. Level 2. Or 7 points of healing. Natural 1. Get out of here with that.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's almost half my health. So I will go ahead and turn into a mouse, and I'm going to go into and ask Valia to put me on her spear again, and put me into that the room on the... Well, I'll ask her first and then turn into the mouse.
Oh, yeah, so she'll be like, okay, if you're sure. And which side are you going in?
I'm going to go into the left first.
Okay, so over here. Okay, yep, so she kind of lowers her spear through, her javelin through the opening. And you can quite easily run down it to the floor.
Right, and I'm just gonna go ahead and turn back into myself.
Okay.
It's maybe a mistake. And I'm going to basically search the room to see if there are any hidden doorways or anything hidden.
Okay. Make a perception check for searching the room. Okay. Yes, you find... here, I'm just going to move this to token level so you can see where it's at. You find a secret door over here.
Awesome.
Oh, look, a secret door. What?
So I shout through the opening and say, "Hey, there's a door into the main chamber from this chamber." To whoever hears me over here.
That's great. Tobias, how you doing with that dirt? Keep it moving.
So moving the dirt is a pretty long, arduous process because you can only move it 5 feet at a time. So you have to kind of come stand over here, shift some up, then stand where Valia is standing, shift some over. So it's kind of like this constant, move it from here to here to here kind of thing. So I would say it's gonna take to get you're trying to create like a 5-foot thing right here. Is that what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, probably take best part of maybe half an hour to get that much dirt moved.
Ulfgar's magical effects have all worn off.
Mm-hmm.
But you end up with this kind of mound, this weird kind of dirt mound at the end of the corridor here.
Yay, dirt mounds! And they're not our graves, but we can use them for that if this goes wrong.
I'm gonna try to open the door.
Okay, yeah. You find in your perception check, you notice this weird little latch thing, and you think that if you pull this little stone out and then turn it and then push it back in again, that looks like the mechanism for it. So
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna try opening it slowly to see if something tries to.
Okay. How far are you opening it?
I'll just start with like 6 inches first.
Okay.
Kind of
Nothing.
peer out.
Yep. Nothing happens yet.
I'll do another inch.
Nope. Nothing happens. It's probably gonna.
We could.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna keep going inch by inch. So
Okay. So probably once you get to the foot mark, then an arrow is going to be. This guy over here is going to see the opening and shoot at you. Which
Sorry.
I have to remember at the. Okay, so it's. That. So 20 to hit.
Jeebus, yeah.
Okay, so 1d8 plus 1 damage. So 2 damage. Not too bad.
Yeah, I close it, a little bit more so that he can't hit me again.
Okay.
But can I reach the I don't know if it's, I'm assuming it's opening, outwards.
It's kind of sliding, actually. It's sliding like... Here, let me use the measuring doodad. It's sliding like this way. Did you...
Can I reach one of the arrow that's on the immediate right of the door? Or the
yeah.
crossbow?
Yeah. Yep, you think you could stick your arm through and kind of grab the arrow?
Yeah, well, it just produces more arrows. I'm thinking about trying to break it off the wall.
I'll break the statue? Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, the crossbow, at least portion of the crossbow, like even if it's just part of the mechanism, so it doesn't.
Okay. How are you gonna break it?
That's a good question. I think I'll take my scimitar and so is everything part of that crossbow stone, or is it like just a...
Oh, it's all stone.
So I would think the weakest part would be the part that kind of gets pulled back, and I'm gonna just try to ram down on it with my scimitar, see if I can break any.
Okay. Make a roll to hit as if you're attacking it. You kind of take aim and swing your scimitar down. It's a little bit awkward because you're kind of reaching through this gap to try and do this. And your scimitar does not hit where you expect it. But the statue doesn't seem to be capable of turning, or at least hasn't turned yet to face you.
Okay. Then I'm gonna back off and go back into the room and just do another check. See if there's anything else.
Okay. Do another perception check. You're pretty confident you've seen all there is to see in this room. Big old statue, its head broken off on the floor, and a bunch of dust and cobwebs.
Okay. Then I will shout at Valia to put her javelin back in so I can come and switch me to the... and I will turn into a mouse.
Okay. Right. Yep, you happily do that. So you end up over here.
Yep.
Meanwhile, dirt is being shifted.
And I will turn back into myself and do a check of...
Okay, give me another perception. Oh, yep. Guess what you find? You're going to be totally
Door.
surprised. Oh.
No other doors?
No other doors.
Just
the one.
I want into that black space.
Excuse me.
All right. Then I will just basically shout out Valia to get me back.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Wizard, you got any anti-arrow spells up your sleeve?
You talking to Zagmira?
Yeah.
Anti-arrow spells. Let's see. Oh, what does this one do? Hang on.
It's an anti-arrow spell.
Zagmira says, well, I do have something that would help, I suppose. She says I can create a bit of a shield around you. Actually, hang on. She says, let me look, because it might only be around her. It does say around you. It doesn't say around anybody else. She says I can create a bit of a shield, but I think it's only around me. Yeah, she says I could create a shield around myself and go in there. She says it should increase my armor class. What's armor class? Says it should protect me enough to kind of grab them and run back out, hopefully. Actually, let me look at her AC. She says, though you better be ready with some healing when I do get back.
Aye, that might be a problem.
She says, then maybe we should think of a different way, because I'm not well armored, as you see. She gestures to her robes. So even with the increase protection from my shield spell, you know, I still feel like they would be able to hit me fairly well, and there are quite a few of them, and I don't have a lot of stamina.
Ulfgar says, okay, so you don't have any anti-arrow spells. Got it. Okay. How's Tobias making with the with the dirt?
She says, well, I could, I do have another spell that could make you more difficult to hit, but I don't know that it only works if you don't have armor on, she says. So I don't think that anybody kind of would benefit that much from it.
Aye. Ulfgar looks at him, at his armor and says, I think I'll be alright with this. How's Tobias's progress at this point?
So yeah, you'd be pretty much finished with your dirt wall at this point.
Yay. So Ulfgar would move up and see if he could, like, just peek and get a mage hand in there to nab the topmost cube.
Yes. You can do that without getting shot at.
And which one is it? Because I know that Valia said she marked them with little scratches on them.
Oh, let me have a look. Okay, we'll go. Okay, this room is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay.
Okay.
There you go. It is. It has an L on it.
Okay. Then I do the same thing and grab the next one and the next one.
Okay. So you end up with all 3.
Okay.
Yep.
And did anything change upon all of these leaving that room?
No.
Okay.
So where are you? Hang on, because we've got a pile of. Valia's going to step back, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a pile of. Where are you when you're doing this?
I'd be up where Tobias is, because you'd have to be right next to a.
Okay. All right. So Okay. So yep, you mage hand them, and okay, yep. So you've got all 3, and nothing seems to have changed.
Okay.
Zagmira says, just bring them here, I'll have a look at them. She says, I'm sure I'll be able to tell which one's genuine.
Well, I can tell which one's genuine. It's just a matter of, if we don't solve the riddle on here, is it going to have some kind of curse on it and not work as intended? That's what we were worried about before.
Well, which one's genuine?
And he holds up the one that's that is not marked with L or R. He says, it's this one, of course.
Sure.
She can insight check him if she wants. He has absolutely no clue or no proof. But with Ulfgar, he thinks it's true.
She says, I think we're done here. Let's go.
Excuse me. But what? So all we had to do is walk in and grab the one in the middle, and that's it.
She says, well, you seem to believe you have it all figured out, so I don't know what you're waiting for.
Well, in the past, it's actually shown some sign of success, whether it be things deactivating or resetting or whatnot. In this case, none of that has happened. We just have 3 cubes.
She says, well, okay.
Did you run into any multiple cubes in the past with yours?
She says, no, I did not. And she says, I'm gonna just take a nap, just let me know when you're done.
A short rest?
Yeah.
Ulfgar says, yeah, maybe we should take a short rest. I'm sure Kellisto already has, but perhaps we should take a short rest and then see about crossing over to the other side so that we can rest for the night. Should have plenty of light going down into the lava.
She says, well, wait, I was taking a nap because I thought you were going to figure this thing out. Now you're saying you're going to rest?
It'll take me a good 10 minutes before I can try and figure this thing out. He says, I don't have readily available spells sometimes. It's often better that I end up doing a bit of a ritual for it.
So wait, are you resting or are you casting a spell? I'm completely confused at this point.
I'm going to sit here and cast a spell, but it'll take me a good 10 minutes.
It's okay.
And then he tries to remember if he cast Detect Magic on these things before. And I don't know that he'd remember. Because a lot of crap happened. So he's gonna ritual cast Detect Magic on the cubes. See if any of them glow. But I'm pretty sure that none of the cubes have glowed in the past.
Okay. Yep, so was anybody else doing anything? Well, see Ulfgar starting to cast. Valia kind of sits down on the steps and starts picking at her teeth with a bone splinter or something.
I'm gonna see if I can take a nap for an hour, hopefully. I don't know how long it's gonna take. And if I can get some hit points back.
Yeah. So between all this shenanigans with dirt moving and mage hands and everything, you could definitely have been like already taking a nap. Plus the 10-minute ritual thing, you could get some hit die worth of. Yep, sounds good. So you've got a short rest in basically, Kellisto.
Okay.
And Valia would join you in doing the same thing, actually.
All right. So, does Detect Magic reveal anything? I'm guessing it doesn't.
Oh, there it is. Took me a while to find that. Detect Magic does reveal, actually, that 2 of the cubes have magic on them.
Are they the L and the R?
No, they're not.
Crap, which 2?
They are the blank, obviously, and the L.
Have magic on them.
Yep.
So upon completion, Ulfgar looks over to see if Zagmira is done doing her rest, or if he's got another 10 minutes. No one's pressuring him. He's going to take 10 more minutes. Cast another spell.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any pressure. Zagmira's got her eyes closed, kind of. You think she's sleeping.
Then he cast Mending on his boots. It's not a ritual, but it takes 10 minutes to work.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, the hole where you can see your toes wiggling just knits itself shut.
Okay. And with that, he then gets Zagmira's attention and says, well, it apparently, these two here, I don't know what kind of magic they have about them. Would I know?
Sure you do.
By focusing?
Yep, sure you do. I just don't know.
Okay. They've got this specific magical aura that I'm telling you now about.
Hang on.
And this other one doesn't have any. And all the puzzle cubes we've had before have not been magical in nature. So I believe these two are trapped. Here, you hold on to them.
It's illusionary magic.
Oh, illusion. It says these two are... Oh, they're illusionary. And can he actually, like, focus on it to see if they'll just, like, disappear? Or if he, like, believes in the illusion at this point? Because he recognizes that there is an illusion associated with them?
So when you focus on them, yeah, they are solid still. You think it's perhaps just a more technical illusion?
Okay. So he says, these two, and he puts them, like, says, here, hold your hands out. And he goes to give them to Zagmira.
Okay, she'll hold her hands out.
Puts them in her hands and says, these two are trapped. So, and then he'll hold the other the other one up and says, this one is the genuine item. So you can do with those two as you like.
She says, Orvex, step aside. And he kind of steps over here. And then she kind of winds up and just lobs them in kind of this direction as far as she can.
I missed what this direction was.
Like through the gates, basically.
Okay.
And as soon as they leave her hand, right, they barely traveled any distance at all, both of them go up in a little puff of green smoke.
Well, that's a lot safer than I thought might happen. I thought we might fall into another pit of acid.
Did you already see as well, by the way? Did I show you the puzzle cube? This one? Here, see it again. There you go.
Yes, we did see it, but that's good to have again. Thank you.
Okay.
We now have the Moa's puzzle cube.
Indeed.
The R1.
So Zagmira says, now can we go?
Aye.
Okay. So...
Let's retreat. I mean, advance across the pit.
So she and Orvex kind of make their way over to the edge of this very tiny plateau that this shrine is on. Is there anything anybody else wants to do at this shrine before you leave? Going once, going twice.
I want to never come back.
Yeah, Ulfgar's not interested in checking around the back because he's probably going to get bit by more snakes.
Or Jaculis!
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to move you back to the Omu map. Aelia, if you're still with us, you see the group kind of gathering on the north side of the plateau. You can see them across the chasm, and they're kind of gathering. It looks like they're going to be heading back your way fairly shortly here.
Well, being the anxious Nelly that she is, she would already be on the other side of the cliff face. You can see like torchlight coming from where she is.
Okay. Yeah, and it is as you make your way up, the rest of the group and everybody makes their way to kind of their own edges of this chasm. It's getting quite dark now. The sun has set and there's just the kind of edges of color of it on the horizon, and you can definitely see stars coming out. So what's the plan for getting back?
So how far away is the cliffs from each other?
I think are they 60 feet? Hang on one sec.
Previously, I think he'd said 50, but still, either way.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
60 feet wide.
There you go.
Well, I turn to
I see what
turn
you're
to the
doing.
group
Sorry, go on.
and I say, "Well, I racked my brain trying to find a better way, but it's but
Ulfgar
who
says,
wants to be first?"
I'll go first, and I'll make it easier on you. Wait, you can see just fine, can't you? In your spider form in dark?
I think so, but let me double check.
Oh, the giant crab. We need the giant crab back.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I don't think he can really. I was looking. I can do a giant frog,
Oh, God.
which I'm sure Ulfgar would appreciate,
Mm.
but the jump isn't that long.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Mhm.
Oh, I have blind sight 10 feet and dark vision 6
Okay, so
as
you're
the giant wolf
you are
spider.
set. Okay, so
Yeah.
So then Ulfgar says, "I'll go first."
Okay. So I turn myself into the wolf spider and I start wrapping him up.
I'll
Okay.
rope it up.
Alright, yeah, you're kind of ready for it this time, Ulfgar, so it's not quite as freaky.
Yep.
But still a bit weird.
And then he closes his eyes and goes.
And then I will proceed back the way we came.
Okay. So yeah, it's the same in reverse. Aelia, you see this really bizarre sight of Ulfgar. You think it's Ulfgar? It's kind of tough to see at this distance. It's smaller, a little bit shorter, so you think it's Ulfgar getting wrapped up in spiderweb. After you watch Kellisto wild shape into a pretty big spider, and then Kellisto sticks Ulfgar to her back with a bit more web, and down the chasm they go. Orvex is asking, as soon as kind of Callisto's out of earshot, Orvex is like, excuse me, sir, do you think that you could possibly ferry me to the other side of the chasm? Please. I'm not opposed to begging if that's what's needed.
Travel by spiderback. It's such a unique experience. Something you don't want to pass up.
I ferried you onto this island, and I possibly can get you off this island as well. Well, hop on.
Okay. So he readily hops on, just kind of like, you've never seen Orvex be so kind of pushy. He like just pushes his way to the front of like the group and just hops on Arokh's back. I'm ready, he says.
Buckle up, old man.
You kind of see him, he squeezes his eyes shut. Okay, let's go.
Arokh turns into a giant wolf spider.
And he's going for a quick dive.
No. You hear Orvex from the back of Arokh. He's hyperventilating.
Spreading his wings, and he's taking off.
Okay.
Ulfgar opens one eye, gives a little chuckle, closes his eyes again.
Okay. Yeah, when you get to the other side, Orvex quickly hops off, does a little bow, looks like he's about to throw up again, and then quickly sits down on the closest available chunk of rock.
That's no.
Aelia casts calm emotions on him.
That's much better. Alright. So a couple of rounds go by, and Ulfgar, you are deposited on the other side of the chasm.
Yeah, and this time I just immediately leave him.
Yep.
I'm just like,
And he slowly starts trying to work, setting himself free from the webbing as best he can.
Kellisto, you do notice Orvex is over there already.
I internally I'm like, oh, thank God. I didn't want to take. I was gonna actually, when I went back, say, can I take someone else?
Just push him over and take someone else.
So I just head back.
Sees, Ulfgar's feet sticking out of his little cocoon, and she says, "What happened to your hoof sleeves?"
Oh, they've been repaired. He took the time. He took the time to repair them. His shield looks like crap, though. His shield looks like Swiss cheese.
Hoof sleeves. That's fantastic.
I just wanted to say hoof sleeves.
I do like hoof sleeves, though. But Tobias's hoof sleeves are still messed up.
So Kellisto, who's Arokh ferrying next?
I think next will be Zakmira.
Okay. Yep, she tries to sit up very proudly, as Arokh's taking off. So
So are you even going back for anybody at this point? Because Valia did not want to go Spiderback style.
Well, I guess I'm going back to see if. Well, I don't know any of this. All I know is there's still people back there, so I will be heading back, and then I guess we'll see.
So when you stand there so you climb up at the edge of the chasm. So there's wait, who's left? Ulfgar's gone. So there's just Valia left and
Tobias.
Tobias.
Yeah.
So are you standing there with your spider legs like,
Yeah.
come on, let's go.
Snap Tobias. It's an experience, man. Come on.
I'm just waiting for one of them to like walk forward.
Valia is like,
She probably takes a
she's
step
just
back.
looking anywhere. It's like, wow, I have never seen that constellation before. This is
Maybe
crazy.
gives Tobias a push.
She's like doing anything except making eye contact.
Well, so I look at Tobias for a second, and then I'm just like, oh, he's not gonna do this. And so I just kind of like, spider. I kind of like wave an arm, and I turn around and I just go back.
Okay, fair enough. So a few rounds later, and unless Arokh's gonna try any shenanigans, everybody will be successfully ferried back to, the main chunk of Omu. So you're all back together again.
Hooray.
What happened to your hoof sleeves, Tobias?
It's a bit embarrassing. I don't think I want to talk about this.
Aelia looks over to Ulfgar.
Who is currently probably starting to set up his ritual for the bubble. But then he's like, we should probably do this inside. There's a building nearby. Perhaps we could just use that for now.
Wait, what was the question?
If there's a building nearby, we can take shelter in to set up the bubble.
Yep, you could explore a building. That went really well last time.
Just this one, right here. This one.
Sure. The roof
Since
is.
nobody.
Okay.
I was gonna say, since nobody answered Aelia, I just kind of snort and I'm like, acid. And that's it. That's all I say.
When you
Aelia's
say,
like lips peel back and like she's looks both confused, horrified, and bewildered, and it's like, I'm glad I stayed on this side. Me and Flippy and Gal, we had quite a relaxing afternoon actually.
just picture it like this little one-shot special. Flippy, Gal,
Aelia.
Aelia,
Mhm.
frolicking.
For me, it's like this picture of one of these Omu palms. Aelia's like resting underneath it, laying on her side.
Mm.
Gao has got his arms up behind his head, kind of akimbo, and laying on Aelia's stomach, and then you've got Flippy running in circles around them.
Chasing a butterfly or a bat or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep, chasing a big old dragonfly or something. Seems legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Gao would definitely like stretch out his little kobold feet crossed, you know. He's got his feet. Yep. Yeah, he's totally.
Crown tipped forward over his eyes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. The sun is very bright to kobolds, so. Oh, actually, that's what Gao would do. He would spend the afternoon weaving himself a big kind of straw hat as best he can out of some leaves and whatnot.
Really? A straw hat?
And the crown fits over it.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll build in a visor on it.
Yeah. Well, it's very bright for kobolds when the sun's out. So
I'd like to scout out that building to see if it's good enough that we could just set up a bubble in there.
Yeah, so there's a big chunk of it has collapsed inside, and a good portion of the roof is missing. But there are, some remnants of walls, and you do feel like you could kind of make use of those to set up your bubble and be a little bit more protected than you were.
Just a little bit less visible. Something about a weird opaque bubble. All right, so then he finds a spot. He comes back out and he says, all right, so I've got a spot in here. I'm going to start setting up for those that want to come rest for the night. And he sets up and starts doing his ritual.
Okay. Anything anybody wants to do before resting for the night?
No, as soon as he starts, I'm like, I go in to be as close as possible to him so that I can get a bed right away. Be like, I'm not taking any watch tonight.
Aelia will also, if anyone is still wounded, cast healing word on them.
There's a lot of
That would be me.
Yeah.
Tobias will take on the first watch.
Okay.
And one more thing, during this watch, he's going to take out one of the dragon horns that he took from Tinder, and he's going to drain it out.
Okay. So, like, scooping out all the bone marrow and whatnot, and
yeah,
okay.
and he's going to make it a little bit hollow.
Okay.
Ulfgar will take the last watch.
Okay. Valia says she's still got kind of a couple of wounds on her, so she says she'll do the second watch if she's able to get a little bit of healing.
Aelia provides.
Thank you.
So before turning in, though, Ulfgar spends another bit of time, let's see, casting mending on his shield to try and repair it.
Okay. Let me look at mending. Mending.
Oops.
How big is the shield? Do you know?
A goblin chief shield? I don't know. It's considered a shield, which gives a +2 armor class. They don't specify like size or anything. So
okay.
I figured it being a goblin's shield, it was probably a tiny bit undersized for him, but not especially so.
Yeah, it'll take a couple of castings to do it, but
okay.
You could get there.
Probably buckler sized by the sound of it.
Maybe. But you can get mended up.
Mm-hmm. So Do we survive the night?
Wait, who's on first watch?
Not it.
Tobias?
Tobias. Okay. Tobias, you hear T-Rex roars several times throughout your watch. They seem to be at a distance, but you definitely hear them.
At a distance.
From a distance. Okay. But that's all that you experience during your watch.
Okay. Did I finish the horn, or I just need more time?
I will say you've got it roughly hollowed out. If you want a nice kind of smooth finish on the inside, then you'll need another night.
Okay.
Okay. So Valia takes her watch and does not wake anybody during that watch. So, then Ulfgar.
Yes.
So it's your watch, and you also hear some T-Rex roars in the distance.
He finds that not happy, but as long as it, doesn't find its way towards where they are, he's going to leave it be.
Okay. All right. So then morning breaks, and anybody? Well, what are you guys doing?
Well, first I'm going to fix my hit points.
I wake up well rested. I'm like, oh, that was great. Thanks, guys.
Replenish all my spells. Wow, I spent a lot of spells.
Oh, that's a good point. And she's like, Mira, did she spend any?
Can she spell again?
She can spell again.
Failed the spelling bee.
Okay, so what you guys up to?
Well, if memory serves, Zagmira had mentioned that the last temple we need to see is in the northwest area.
Says that is correct.
Most likely up here.
Ulfgar.
Which we also know that there's a might wee beastie up there that we might be worried about.
So just a point to make. I see you just ping the map on a building that you think is.
It's just a general guess.
I know, but just to, you can't see the buildings in as great a detail.
Okay.
Up that end to know which ones have walls around and which ones don't. So.
Well, probably did see this in the distance at least.
Yeah, you can see that as kind of a much larger structure. You can see some statues kind of on the corners and whatnot. But there's just kind of up here, there's just like a general mess of buildings.
Okay. So, I imagine if we go up, what are these walkways called again?
Causeways?
If we go up along the causeway, probably give us a good look. Find it quicker. Well, we might be more visible to other creatures as well, but it's also a very rapid mode of transportation for us.
It's like,
Before
Mary.
I say something very stupid, GM, do I recall hearing the T-Rex roaring during the day?
You have heard it roaring during the day, yeah.
Okay. That is all.
Okay. Zagmira says, well, and it's fine to kind of pop up on one of the causeways and have a look, she says, but I wouldn't travel down the whole way on there. She says, I'm pretty sure we'll be spotted by any number of undesirable encounters if we do.
Ulfgar, we have the routes that we're familiar with around this area. We can walk along those to get back. And hopefully Bag of Nails won't shoot at us.
Aye, I was just thinking once we get over in the northwest area, it could be a faster way of travel. But
Didn't
I don't know.
didn't we see gargoyles?
We did. So perhaps it is best to still stay to the shadows like we have been. It just makes me a bit anxious about large creatures that can swallow you, you know?
Zagmir says, "Oh, the more reason not to stand up on a dinner plate."
Well, sometimes it's just trying to figure out which is better, a bit of stealth or a bit of speed. In this case, I think you're right. Probably the stealthy action is the best course again.
Aelia finishes packing her things, and says, "Well, should we head off then? We can follow the causeway wall," and she points north.
Mm-hmm. Aye.
Yep, Zagmira is putting her stuff in her bag, and Orvex is like, "I didn't have anything anyway," so he straightens his toga.
So then perhaps we could go...
And a fine toga it is.
I'm going to draw a line here that pretty much retraces our path. It'll show up in a second here.
Oh boy.
Ready, and there.
Ooh.
Okay.
As a
Yeah,
suggestion.
if we chart that on a map, then Aelia will agree with it.
Okay. Yeah, so Zagmira does suggest, she says, I think we should make our way further down, hidden. She says, actually, as we get closer to the amphitheater, she says, I think the more stealth we should apply, really.
I agree, but which side of the causeway should we be on? The west or the east?
She says, well, there's not, she says, my guess would be the east.
Right.
Says, in fact, we may want to kind of pop up on the other causeway, to stay as far away from the amphitheater as we can.
What is scaring you off from
their
the
little hand-drawn map, and then you mean this causeway?
Yes.
What is it about the amphitheater that scares you?
She says, well, surely you've heard it.
You talking about that large beastie I was talking about?
She says, yes. She says, they call it the King of Feathers. She says, it's no ordinary T-Rex.
Right, and you know it's specifically around the amphitheater.
She says, that's where it tends to stick. She says, as far as I understand, that's its kind of nesting area, if you will.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So we follow the river coastline on the western side of the river up to the second causeway.
She nods in agreement with that.
Let me redraw the path then. Okay. More like that.
Mm-hmm. Zagmir is still nodding. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And find our way up along there. Okay.
Alright, it's off.
Well then, let's get stealthing.
Okay, so let's see. So you're there. So... I can never remember that. What's the key to do the joint measurement? Like where you put, you know what I mean? Where you
Q.
measure around a corner. Q. Thank
Just
you.
press it once to put a turn point.
Thank you. Okay.
I also noticed right click works.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wowzers.
jeez.
It sure does. Okay. All right, so you spend most of the morning walking along kind of this path that you're taking. You don't see any sign of Bag of Nails around his usual haunts. He's been hanging around a lot these buildings as far as your experience with him, and you don't see him there. Not to say that he isn't there. Is anybody kind of stopping to look for him, or are you just?
I'll give a glance to the tower to see if he's there.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Hang on.
Let me go take care of something real quick.
Hang on, I spilled my Coke. Hang on.
Oh no!
Oh no. Perception.
Okay, one sec. Let me do this. Oh, that's a nope. You don't see him. Nobody sees Bag of Nails.
Ulfgar starts pondering to Valia and Kellisto and whatnot, just saying, I always wondered about that cat. Why, if he's hunting that big lizard, why wouldn't he go after it up there then, if that's where it hangs out? Seems a bit strange saying I'm hunting it, but then you just stay here. Seems to tell me he doesn't really want to hunt it after all.
Well, we don't see him now, so maybe he went out and hunted it.
Well, I guess that's always a possibility too.
I did find that strange myself.
He was a strange cat.
He was harmless.
Speak for yourself. Yeah, poison tip arrows, those hurt. Just ask her. Throws a thumb up at Aelia.
Aelia grumbles.
Okay. Make your way across the tree. Doesn't seem to be. No arrows fly through the air.
Ulfgar kind of like runs across the tree.
If you're running, are you really running?
Yeah, he would hustle across the tree, yeah.
Okay, make a dexterity check for me. It's not, I mean, it's wide, but...
Dexterity save? Check?
Check.
Checks.
Everyone?
Checks. Just only if you're running across the... remember how, like, here, there's a big tree crossing the river, and that's why you're...
Ulfgar's like a speeding bullet.
Oh. If you're running across...
Sauntering.
If you're running across the tree, then you need to make a dexterity check, just to make sure you don't fall in. It's a low DC, but just in case.
Ulfgar comes up to the edge of the tree, closes his eyes and goes, "Oh yeah, okay, I can do this.
Okay, you're fine.
Ulfgar is it." And then he like just charges across.
Okay, yep, you're...
Leaves a little dust trail as he goes.
Therefore, power of fear.
He's like, Ulfgar is like parkour king when it comes to this tree trunk. He's like hopping across like the big knotty bits and everything.
He's got that lower, sense of stability.
Callisto snickers and like elbows Valia. Hey, look at him go!
Valia says, "I never knew he could move so fast. I have to remember this." I'm going to eat him. I'll have to tie him down first. So you spend most of the day kind of making your way up the riverbank to, well, most of the morning, I should say, to kind of the causeway, and you do reach here without any further incident. You do pass by the shrine here. I don't think it's one you've looked at, but Zagmira will say, this is kind of, we don't need to worry about this one, she says, basically.
Right.
But you end up kind of early afternoon around here, and it is a sunny day.
I hear cats meowing, birds chirping.
Can I get a lay of the land?
Yeah, if you want to kind of pop up on the causeway here, have a look.
No, more like looking around the corner of the golden top building that we're next to, and just kind of looking into this neighborhood.
Okay. So you see you imagine back in its day, like where is it? This whole kind of area here was like quite a fancy street at one point in its life. But now it's very well overgrown, and vegetation is just kind of taking it back. This building looks quite interesting. Looks, it's a much more significant building. The buildings look a bit more kind of utility purpose buildings, rather than like over here in the big like circle were very fancy residences. But that's about all.
In the large building, it looks interesting in a kind of does it look like opening a market, or?
Yeah, it does look like at one point it was it had kind of a broader use. So yeah, perhaps like maybe even like a livestock market would be your guess.
Aelia nudges Ulfgar, but is kind of talking to the whole team. Do we want to check out that larger building there? Maybe it'll work for a base of operations.
Sure. Maybe there'll be something interesting.
Okay. Let me get a thing.
Oh, that's never good.
It's got a page for itself. Meanwhile, the dungeon master says, "You have triggered my trap card."
Okay. So you kind of peer through the arched opening there, and there do seem to be like this seems to be like a main hall, and there's like saplings growing up inside of this place, and all kinds of vegetation kind of overgrowing it. But you can see two side hallways, kind of off. And it does seem to be like you get the smell like of kind of more significant decay here. It smells a bit like mushroomy,
So I can only I assume I'm going to draw on the map here. I'm kind of at this entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking down into this hallway, and I can't see anything significant other than overgrowth and a mushroomy smell. Is that
Yep.
the gist of it?
Yep.
Do I see any passages off the side of the hall?
Yep, you see kind of going either side, one to the left and one to the right, arched passages again, cut off about midway down these buildings.
Is anyone coming with me, by the way?
I'm with you.
Yeah. Ulfgar always likes to stay at the front. Especially when scouting.
Left. She turns behind and says, left or right?
Left.
Right.
Let's split the party.
All right.
No,
Well, I was going to go right myself, so let's go right.
Okay.
then.
Sorry, Ulfgar.
No, that's fine.
All right. So so as you kind of walk down this main hallway of the building, the odor of like the kind of fungus, like mushroom decay odor does get stronger and stronger.
Ulfgar pulls out Bob. He says, "I've got a bad feeling we're in a dangerous territory now. I should have had my guard up a while back."
But it is like a compost smell and not a rot smell, right?
It's a bit of both at this point.
Bit of rotting compost.
It's starting
look
to
at
smell
them.
like decay.
Like, do you want me to make the smell go away?
I like my sense of smell. It acts as a sort of alarm, and I'm going to take the moment to see if I can spot any hiding undead.
Oh, you're doing Eyes of the Grave?
Ulfgar says, "Thanks. I think I'll be alright, Callisto."
I create a couple of really small, like little near my nose. I'm making it flowery scented with my druid craft.
Okay. So you get hang on. Is that what that was? One sec, sorry. I moved away from my sheet. Yes, okay, so you get pings on your Eyes of the Grave radar. Aelia, you get like there's a cluster actually of undead close by.
Aelia says, there's a cluster and they're close. There's undead here.
That does explain the smell.
Ulfgar would message back to anybody that he would think would be behind at this point to let them know that there are undead nearby and to take cover.
Okay. Hang on. Was not expecting this. So give me one moment to.
There's a cluster in the cloister.
Okay.
I immediately initialize my flame blade.
Ooh.
Okay.
Proactive Callisto.
Ooh.
With the flame blade.
Also gives us light.
Oh, did I put that on? That was so fancy. Maybe. Sorry, one sec. I'm just erasing some previous stuff from the map, except it's not letting me. What the heck layer did I put that on? Oh, okay. And then I'm going to move you onto just a blank battle map so we can have some of this.
Blank battle maps are the most dangerous.
Wow, okay, I drew like a lot on here. Good lord.
I think you can just like select a bunch of stuff.
You know, how do you do that though on Maplet without... I just deleted the background. Crap.
Without doing that? Can you undo? Control Z.
The universe flexes.
Nope, that one's not blank either. God damn it. Have I got no blank battle maps? I have to have a blank one somewhere.
You have definitely used a blank one before.
Yep. I just managed to delete the thing off it. Oh, you know what? I know what I can do. I can go copy.
Copy paste is always a good way to go.
Paste. Please? Okay. Alright. Oh, that works perfectly, because now it's actually in front of all the drawings. So, you can't see the drawings.
Right now I just see this really large arched building.
Yep. Let's do that. Okay. Alright, let me move back to the token line before I do anything else wrong. Okay, let's move you guys over here. Oh, you know what? And I also need to turn off Fog of War. One sec. Page settings. Fog of War. Go away. Okay. Alright.
Hey.
Okay, and then also bring Arokh back because he is here. He's just on the wrong layer. There he is. Okay.
Hey.
Hey, he's not actually. You guys are together. Okay, so anyway, so Orvex and Zagmira will, as usual, be in the back. And then let me bring over the baddies.
I think Flippy and Valia are probably in the middle or back.
Okay. Where the heck is the token? Harumph. Why is there no token?
You okay there, lady?
Aha! I found it.
Yay. Token of the grave.
Alright. So let's put these guys... Wait, which way were you going? Left or right?
We went right.
Right, okay. I'm gonna put it over here for now. And then I'm gonna move you guys kind of a little bit to... Gonna kind of move you this way so that we've got a little bit of room here to maneuver these guys. Okay, now I need to copy paste.
A little bit of maneuvering.
Yeah, do you want to put yourselves kind of in the order, and also feel free to do any drawing that you like.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
That's a cluster, right?
I didn't like where this is going. Oh crap. They're multiplying.
Okay. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to grab Orvex. He's going over there.
Yep.
It's like Mira. Okay.
Flippy.
Where's Flippy? Oh, Flippy. Yeah. Flippy and Valia are kind of in the middle there. Okay. Alright. So these are the guys you're running into. Ah.
No, thank you.
Do we have a handout for these friends?
You sure will.
Sure will.
So currently you say there's a cluster of them over here.
Yep.
And we're all like, okay, we can handle a cluster until we see how many are in a cluster, and then we're like, oh crap.
That's a cloud or crowd, not a cluster.
I don't know. A cloud of zombies is probably, you know.
They are a bit like Pigpen, aren't they? Okay. And they actually look pretty weird. They don't look like your normal zombie. This is what they look like.
Great.
Ooh.
Excuse me. They look almost dwarf-like.
Sorry, just making that a little bit less formation-like. Okay. All right. So they're kind of in this huddle, like they're kind of actually all like grouped together, facing each other when you come like you get this ping on your map that's further to the right, and actually let's do a little bit of drawing. My name is Simon, and I like drawing. So let's say we've got hallway, wobbly hallway, and then it seems to kind of open out like this. And then behind you is like a much wider kind of hallway that you guys are currently in. So this is like
Okay.
this main kind of building here, and you came in down at the front here. So this is where that archway was. Whoop. There we go. I did it.
Well done.
Thank you, GM.
Alright. Oh, and actually, I screwed up. Oh well, it's just going to stay that way. There is like a another opening behind.
Right, because you said left or right.
Yeah. So you just have to imagine that that line is not there.
Okay.
This is open to the hallway that goes in the opposite direction.
Okay.
So yeah, these guys. Right.
And we came from
The south.
this way.
No, you came
No,
from
from south.
yeah, from this way.
Okay.
Okay. So they're all kind of huddled together. They're all facing each other, just kind of stooped over, staring at each other or the floor. You can't really tell which. And then nobody was being particularly stealthy, right? You guys were just kind of...
No.
Okay. So they do see their passive perception. Oh, it's totally crap. Yeah, it's these guys at the front are definitely going to kind of hear you, and they kind of like slowly swing around to look at you. And now is a good point for us to roll initiative. Ooh. Oh, I should do that for Valia as well, shouldn't I? Valia says, Flippy, stay back.
Flippy, stay back.
You're the only
You mean
bird
so much
for
to
me.
me.
It still bothers me that there's no initiative option when you're choosing the token.
When you choose the what?
Token.
Oh, the token. Oh.
Yeah, while you have your options and status, there should be like another one for the initiative.
Yeah.
That
Flippy.
will be very nice.
I agree. It is a bit counterintuitive to click on the token and then click on your character sheet.
Yeah, going back and forth.
Yeah.
Who got them? It isn't after midnight, so you guys are okay on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. So, did I just... No, okay. Whew.
You okay?
Have we got everybody? Oh, we didn't get... Hang on, we didn't get Zagmira. She might be helpful, and we're going to get Orvex as well, just in case he runs into trouble.
Oh boy, we have so much.
We'll probably be scooting right over them, but there we go. Okay, let's sort, and then we can go. All right, Ulfgar.
That's me.
That's you.
Do they have weapons or anything, or are they pretty much as they look? Naked, painted dwarf dudes with mossy bits growing off them.
They do not have any weapons that you see.
Okay. Ulfgar reaches a hand over to Aelia and casts Shield of Faith on her. You now have +2 to your AC for the next 10 minutes.
Heck yes.
Ulfgar activates his stone skin helm effect.
Okay.
And moves forward 5 feet, and that's it.
Okay. These guys are going to start piling in.
Oh shoot, they get to go next. Oh my gosh.
But they're not particularly fast. So they kind of move up.
Not fast. Like it was 20 feet.
Yeah, it's like half dwarf movement.
Yeah, I moved.
They're kind of
25.
shambling along.
Shamble zombies. They do the
And the
monster.
real scary zombies.
These ones do the monster mash.
None of this running garbage.
The monster. Okay, so they're all kind of shamble along towards you. Yeah, white eyes kind of looking strangely at you.
Left my cricket bat at home.
They don't seem to be particularly afraid of you, but none of them are close enough to hit you by any means. Valia says, "Yes," and and proceeds to kind of run up. So she's gonna move up to this one. Says, "Sorry, Kellisto," as she runs kind of past, and she is going to she's gonna javelin it because she doesn't fancy biting them. Or you know what, she can claw them, can't she? So she kind of rakes across this guy with the claw, and I can't remember what that AC is immediately, and yeah, it seems to kind of, yeah. Okay, that hits. So she does 10 points of damage to that guy. I think she gets 2 attacks as well, so she's going to do the same again. Clawing him up. Okay. Hits with that one as well and does another 10. And they do seem to be quite susceptible to damage. Right, Tobias.
Tobias will be wasting no time, and he's going to cast Radiant Bolt on this one in front of him.
Okay,
That one.
nice.
Radiant Bolt.
That hits.
For once.
Oh, he's so rude.
Second level.
Need a little ice for that. Oh, man. Okay, so he takes 23 points of damage, and a big hole is burnt in him. He still is swaying a little.
Isn't undead taking double radiant damage?
Not this one.
Oh, radiant damage denied.
He does have like a massive hole kind of burnt in him, and he's swaying from taking that much damage at once, but he does not drop.
Maybe I can get him with some song damage.
Anything you would like to do for a bonus action?
Actually, I don't want to go up close to them. I'm gonna stand outside for now.
Okay. Alright, Kellisto.
I'm going to do my spike growth.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
Okay, where would you
And-
like to center it?
Oh.
I'm going to center it right behind the last guy. So it'll basically, it won't get the first 4, but it'll get everyone else.
Okay. So let's see. What do they have? It's difficult terrain. Okay, transformation on the ground is camouflaged. Any creature can't see the area at the time itself. Okay. So you all see Kellisto casting. Okay, so when a creature moves into or within the area, so it's on its turn then that it would take some damage. Okie doke, sounds good. Anything else you would like to do as a bonus action or any movement?
No, I'm good for now. I have my filling bay. I already initiated before.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Zachmira says, would you like some help?
That'd be nice.
I'm
It's
like,
just-
now we got this.
Ulfgar shoots you a look.
She says, well, maybe just a little, just for fun. And she's gonna try and finish off the one that you started with a magic missile. Oh, not quite.
See, she can't resist.
Yeah.
Us girls just gotta have fun.
Shooting zombies. So she does kind of take a step to the side here and fires a magic missile at this guy. Does some damage, but doesn't quite knock. She says, sure, I get him. Rorax says, well, maybe next time, madam. And Aelia.
Oh gosh.
Right. So Aelia will move. No, she won't move. She will attack the zombie in front of Valia, because now that she's an awesome warrior, she has reach with her spear.
Nice. That hits. Okay. And takes a nice
then
spear wound.
she's going to turn undead.
Okay.
So 30 feet from her.
That's all
So
of
that's
them.
all of them. Need to make a... Is it wisdom or charisma? I can never remember.
Wisma.
Wisma.
Charisdom.
Oh, I like that one better.
Yeah, I can have a look. Turn it.
Wisdom saving throw. So it's
Wisdom.
against my wisdom then.
Okay.
So that's 15.
15. Alright, we're going to do this individually. I know it's tempting to do it as a group, but there are a lot of them. So I'm going to do this. Hang on. Mabel! Sorry. Alright, I'm going to do this like this. So I'm going to do top row and then middle row. So I'm going to do it like this for their rolls.
Keep in mind that if any of them flee, every 5 feet.
Yep. Yeah, very
Kellisto
tricksy.
kicks
Very
more butt.
tricksy. Okay.
Wow.
Alright, so wisdom.
The
Oh
true
my God.
combo. Spike growth.
This
plus
is
turn undead.
just annihilate them, I think. So starting from top guy up there.
Oh, and just to clarify, none of them are half a challenge rating, right? We're long past those days.
Actually, no, they are
Because
that or
Destroy
less.
Undead comes into effect.
Okay, yep. So, alright, so this guy made it. But yeah, okay. But so this guy did not make it. So he is half or less. So You want to describe what happens to him?
Are these... They're like fungaloid, right? A little bit? Like, if we were to get meta about their description?
Kinda, yeah. They're not your average zombie. You do see they've got this vine kind of growing up them.
Because I imagine them kind of like bursting into spores that kind of then burn up. But maybe that's reserved for a different kind of enemy. Maybe these ones just turn into a pile of ash. They puff and then fall, kind of like Buffy vampires.
Okay, cool. Actually, let me check one thing really quick. Because they do have a thing going on. I want to see what happens with that thing. There it is.
Arokh.
So if hang on one sec. Because I've got a lot more saves to make as well. So that spell would just affect undead, right?
Just undead.
Okay. So the dwarf creature does what you're talking about. But left behind is this vine with kind of a yellow flower on the end of it. That is not destroyed.
So this flower kind of falls out of the air onto the ground in a puff of ash.
Yeah, yep. Like as the ash disintegrates, the vine kind of unwraps itself, and yeah, the whole vine and flower kind of land on the floor. Okay, so that's that guy. Let me keep going with these saves. Sorry.
So should be faster after this now.
So none of these actually will run. They either explode or don't explode.
Oh, that one. Yeah. So actually, let me put a marker. I'm gonna put the dead marker on him. So then this guy over here fails. Next guy fails.
Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, next row. That guy succeeds. Wait, is it I have to exceed 15 or meet 15?
I can't remember, but my wisdom saving is 15.
Okay.
If you meet her DC, then you beat it.
Okay, thank you. Oops, that's not the right thing. Sorry. Let's try that again.
Charisma.
Okay. That guy fails.
Oh, good on you, middle row.
Okay, next row.
Same number of survivors.
That guy in front of Valia. Poof. Next guy succeeds, and the last guy in that row fails. Poof. Okay, last guy also fails.
Jesus. Oh, man.
All right. So, yeah. So there's 5 still standing.
I'm not done, by the way. Sorry.
Okay.
Because
She's not done
I've
yet.
never got to do this, and I finally can. Gao slings a rock into the one in front of me.
Yes. Ow. Okay.
I don't know how to make that one. I know the damage is 1d4,
But we're looking for a kobold.
2 hit. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you should look for a slink attack.
Yep. So he gets a +4 to his ranged attack.
Mm-hmm. 1d100 plus 4. What? He gets kingly dice.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, do you want to roll it, or shall I? Oh, you've done it. Oh, that's the D. Sorry, that's 1d4 plus 4. So we need to roll to hit, right?
Oh, so that's 1d20 plus 4.
Yeah.
You're an average king kobold to throw. Yeah.
Oh, that just hits.
Good one, gal. Okay, 1d4.
Zombies suck with their AC, thank goodness. In most cases.
Doesn't he have the magic? Doesn't he have magic
He's
bullets?
got magic sling bullets if he wants to use them.
What are they again?
I gave them up. I took them out of my inventory. So
Yeah, who kept track of them?
God damn it.
Weren't they? Weren't the
think-
whole thing about them that they never missed?
No, I think they were just +1 sling bullets.
Oh, okay.
It was either +1 or +2 sling bullets.
So this guy takes 4 damage from a cow bullet. Okay.
Gal bullet.
Oh. It's like, oh. Okay. Fantastic. Turret activated.
Finally.
Alright. Any other movement or anything else? I think that's all.
No,
we-
I'm just so happy because how many episodes has it been since we acquired Gal?
For sure. Alright, Arokh. Got 5 left.
5 left.
Plus a lot of weeds.
I need to measure something because things go a little bit differently than I imagined.
Mm.
And there are, Vallen's right. There are, for each one of these guys that went puff, there's this vine on the floor. This flowering vine.
You're so pretty.
It sure is.
You just want to pick it up and put it on your back.
Not anymore. Sorry over what Arokh kind of pushes you aside, and he's going to charge his breath weapon in the cone of 30 feet.
He can just step in front of me and do it.
Okay.
So roll for Arokh. Breath weapon.
Mm-hmm.
It automatically hits, so they have to make a save.
The dex save. Okay. Guessing these guys aren't super dexterous. Okay, so there's 5 of them. Okay, so we're going to do the same again. Top row. Top row. Fails? Fails?
Fails.
Ooh, that one. This guy succeeded.
Mm.
Oh, that guy. Middle row succeeds.
Tough row.
Okay, so they take half that.
And
except for
it's a fire. It's a fire damage. It's a cone of fire.
Cone of fire. All right, let me see.
Do you have to make dexterity saves for a bunch of plants too?
Okay. All right, so these guys at the top took the full 23 damage.
Boom.
Oh, it helps if I actually do minus 23. Minus 23. Okay, and then these guys took less, 12. Okay, so you see them get fairly crispified. Some more than others. Let's see what happens to the vines. So the vines can't really yeah. So the vines do get burnt. Not completely burnt up, but they are burnt. Okay. Anything else Arokh would like to do?
I'm not sure if he can, because that takes his whole action, and he moved,
Okay.
so
Aye.
that will be for it.
Then Ulfgar, we are back up to you, sir.
So there's still 4 standing and a lot of vines. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, 5 standing. Sorry.
Yes. And they're kind of smoldering in place.
1 second there. Sorry. Gotta move him out of the way. There we go. So Ulfgar would take a step up in front of Aelia, and he would cast his Fus Roda, which he hasn't done in a while,
Okay.
at level 3. So
He hasn't done that in a while.
No, he hasn't.
Everybody's breaking out the big guns.
Oh, there's a big group. Hold on. And he'd say Fus Roda. And hopefully DC 15 Constitution, which I'd imagine them being zombie-like, they would probably have a pretty good chance of. But otherwise, they take a total of 19 points of thunder damage.
All right, here we go. Once
Or-
again, these guys have made more saves.
It's the area
Top
effect.
row.
Area effect.
Oh, that guy makes it.
So half damage. So.
Okay, hang on. Let me do the damage as I go. Otherwise, so wait, 19.
Mhm.
Actually, okay. Yep. He is barely alive.
Taka.
Okay. Next guy also makes it. So he also is barely alive. Right. Next guy fails. And
Finally, the
that
second
kills
row.
him. And then second row, next guy also.
Fails.
Oh. But this guy does not
Doggone it.
quite die. But he is pushed 10 feet, right?
If he fails, he is pushed.
Oh, so hang on. So he just moved. So then he's also got the thorny stuff going on, right?
I don't know if that counts for movement or pushing.
I reckon it would, because you're getting pushed back onto spikes, right?
Yeah.
I reckon it would as well. So he is also dead. Gets moved back 10 feet and dies in the process. Okay, last guy.
Nice.
Fails. And he has the same thing. He takes the 19 points of damage,
Push into spikes.
pushed back 10 feet, and dies in the process.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, and are the plants that were left affected?
They do, like, I mean, yeah, when you Fus Roda, right, it's like everything in that area is affected,
Okay.
so.
And then he'll take Bob with his bonus action to attack.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
The guy that he's right next to. So plain old Bob one-handed.
Okay.
And as it's an offhand, he does not gain.
Oh, you hit.
So hold on the damage here. That.
Well, he has 1 hit point left.
Okay.
So,
So then there you go.
not to steal your thunder, but
Ha, ha, thunder damage. Aha! I see what you did there. Who?
right. He kind of slumps to the floor. Yep.
That's all I've got.
Okay.
There's a lot of area of effects we just did.
Yeah, for sure.
Holy crap.
So
Wait,
It
Am.
ain't over.
Way to
This-
ambush the zombie.
this guy here is like got his last hit point, and he tries to take a step, and it kills him. Okay.
Wow.
So I'm just going to minimize turn order for now, just in case you guys find some more undead. But there are all these, there's a few who are actual bodies, a lot of piles of ash, and some vines.
Ulfgar just kind of stands still for a minute. Is that a lot of them? They didn't look like normal zombies. They don't look like the ones we've fought before. What's with these ones? And he looks over at Aelia when he says it.
I've not seen these kind before. I have no idea what's going on.
Ulfgar, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Bum, bum, bum.
And Valia needs to do the same as well.
And I pipe up and I'm like, hey, who wants to go see what's on the other side of the hall?
Okay, Valia is
While
fine.
this saving throw is happening, Aelia looks over her shoulder at Zegmir and smirks like, see? This is what you're messing with.
I am going to be using a special ability I have. Because I didn't like that roll, and before I get to know the outcome, let's put that in there. This.
Okay.
And I guess if I fail a saving throw, so I guess I get to know if I failed the saving throw.
You did.
Okay. So I would like to roll the 2d4 and add in 7 to make it 17.
Okay. You did not.
Okay.
But actually, Kellisto and Aelia, I also need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Realized that the range is a little larger.
Come on, my best stat, don't let me down now.
It takes a little longer to float towards you guys with all the spores. Cool.
Okay, you're fine. Gao, though.
Oh, Gao too? Oh, shoot.
I'm not sure what Gao's wisdom is.
Let's have a look. His wisdom is... He has a -2 as his modifier.
Oof. Oof.
Oh no. Poor Gao.
I think that's everybody in the range.
Gao, no! No, Gao. He rolled a dirty 1.
So, that's a natural 1, not a dirty 1.
No, that's a 3.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
2,
Yeah,
so
you're
it's a
right.
dirty 1.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So Gao, while you're discussing kind of the nature of these zombies, says, well, he doesn't say anything actually. He just kind of hops down, off your back, and starts approaching. He looks like he's just kind of curious. He's just kind of looking at what's left of the zombie. I can't remember if that one was disintegrated or not, but he's just looking at the remains and the vine. Walking over there.
Don't touch that. We don't know if where it's bad. And he's like poking at the things with his battle axe.
Okay.
Aelia doesn't do anything because she just thinks that's Gao's nature is to be curious.
Okay.
Ulfgar's suspicious of any vines growing on dwarf-like creatures. Especially when they're zombie dwarves.
Aelia, do you sense any more undead?
Let me see. And she uses Eyes of the Grave. Are there any undead within my vision cone in 60 feet?
There are not.
She shakes her head. No, there's not.
So Gao does reach out a hand to the vine and kind of like reaches out a finger and kind of pokes at the vine a little bit.
That's when Aelia says, Gao, stop that.
Gao kind of turns and looks back up at you, and as he does that, I think it's going to happen. Okay. So the vine, a tendril of the vine snaps at Gao, and it doesn't actually it just barely touches him, but Gao it's as if something has struck him in the head, and he falls to the floor. And what?
It's just reaction. If the vine moved upon him touching, and then he falls down, Ulfgar instant reaction would be to probably firebolt the vine. Not probably the best idea, but it's probably what he would do.
Aelia's reaction would be to pull Gao out of the way.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to change anything you were saying.
Go ahead and do your spell, Ulfgar.
Okay.
And Aelia, you're grabbing Gao and kind of pulling him backwards.
Yeah, seeing him hit the floor, she realizes something's very wrong and pulls his body backwards.
Okay. All right. So the vine does kind of take a little bit of firebolt damage there. So when you pull on Gao, I mean, his body is completely limp. So you can definitely pull him away.
I'm just gonna do a medicine check on Gao, see if he's alive.
Is the vine pursuing him?
The vine does not seem to be moving. No.
Okay.
Gao. No, Gao is not alive.
He's not alive?
He is not alive.
She continues to grab Gao and shouts to everyone, "Everyone back! Gao's dead."
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if there are any vines right next to me. If there are, I would make the proper withdraw so that I don't get attacked.
So there was a vine there, and there, and Gao has been kind of dragged backwards.
Sorry, I'm blocking. There you go.
Okay. But nothing happens when you move away, Ulfgar.
What about Valia?
Yeah, Valia will retreat as well. She kind of cautiously moves back, forms a line with everybody glaring at the vines.
Ulfgar then
Aelia starts shouting,
yeah.
a diamond, does anybody have a diamond?
I think Valia did in the bag, and Ulfgar probably keep firebolting that vine until it's dead.
When let me see if Valia has any of the loots noted what you guys have put in the bag on her sheet anywhere.
Admittedly, you did just say we just took a whole lot of loot into the bag.
Yeah, she doesn't have it on her sheet anywhere. So if you guys recall her having a diamond,
I only remember you saying various gemstones. I don't remember specifics. When it came to that lot of loot.
Well, we traded with the grung, a small bag of gemstones. But I don't know.
They were not diamond, I don't think.
Okay.
They were I think we gave them gold pieces, actually. or the 3 blue quartz pieces. So there was a box that we found with 2 velociraptor skulls, wand of fear, and 2 diamonds in it. So somebody, which I'm going to think was Valia, has the diamond.
I'm so happy you take notes.
I don't always, just happened that day.
Yeah, Valia turns and starts digging through her pack, and
Well, she's got
the bag.
Yeah, she's got a bag of holdings.
Yep, through the bag. Sorry, not her bag. Start digging through. Well, she doesn't have to dig through it. She just kind of like puts her hand in, closes her eyes, and then produces what you're talking about, and hands it out.
Aelia, in like one swift motion, Aelia takes the diamond from her hand, shoves it in Gao's mouth, and then slams both hands down on his chest, casting Revivify.
So as soon as Zagmira sees you pull the diamond out, she kind of rushes up and says, this isn't going to work. She says, you do realize that now when a creature dies, they die.
Aelia is pretty one-track mind, and especially for her friend Gao, so she's kind of hyper-focused and does this anyway. She barely even hears what Zagmira is saying.
Yeah, makes sense. So you slam your hands down on him to cast Revivify, and the magic seems like you can feel the rush of magic through your body and into Gao's body, but he does not return to life.
Firebolt.
Aelia just kind of collapses over Gao's body. Sad.
Zagmira, seeing you still casting Ulfgar, says, and seeing kind of Aelia's grief over Gao, says, would you like a hand with this?
Yes, we should clear this horde out. They might have some control over Gao.
Okay. You see her kind of begin the motions on what looks like a fairly powerful spell, and she fireballs the whole area.
Just had to trump all of our AoEs, didn't you? No, it's fine.
What you
I wanted them burned.
Yeah. So she centers it. Where does she center it? A little bit further back. So she centers it kind of back there, so it can get everybody there. So the vines do seem to kind of crisp up and die along with your firebolts. The two of you kind of combining forces there.
I'm all like pew pew. She's all like bazooka boom. Excuse me.
Okay. The area is well and truly scorched. The zombie bodies that were not, ash before are certainly well on their way to being ash now. Some of it's burning, some of the vines are burning. Everything seems to be burnt. Yep.
So Ulfgar looks back to see if Gao's come back.
Gao has not come back.
He does his own medicine check on him. He does, because he's in disbelief.
Okay, and actually I'm going to get rid of turn order now.
Okay.
Now that everything over there is dead. Roll medicine.
There you go.
Yes, he is dead.
Is he able to figure out how it happened?
Like what kind of damage Gao died from?
Yes.
I don't know. Is a medicine check that good?
I don't know. It could have been magical, and then an Arcana check would have been useful. But I thought that was a pretty good medicine check.
Yeah, do an Arcana check as well. See if you don't mind.
Because his Arcana is not the best. No.
Okay. Your medicine check, you think it was some kind of magical damage, but you can't make out what kind it was.
Tobias,
Arokh takes a look.
was there a magical hex upon him or something?
You guys, you think that it was psychic damage, actually.
So basically his little cobalt brain was fried.
That's horrible.
I'm very sorry, Ayla.
Ayla kind of just looks up at Kellisto with her eyes very wet.
Well, he's a brave wee lad. King of the Kobolds, definitely. I don't think we should bury him. I think we should probably build him a pyre.
Aelia points south and says, "There's a natural pyre."
There is.
The kobolds seem to love lava and volcanoes. And
Then we should take him there.
you should return him to
the fire that we found him. That works.
Is Zagmara gonna pipe up and say anything? Because Aelia is about to pick up Gal's body and take him back the way that they came towards the the mag.
Zagmira looks very solemn, as does Orvex. They're being, trying to be very respectful here. And she does say, I agree. She says, I would not bury him if I were you.
Two birds with one stone, and she carries Gal's little body out the way they came.
I follow after.
Okay. Let's move you guys back to the map of Homo.
A sad day.
A sad day indeed.
Gal saved us.
A few times.
Yeah.
Yellow musk zombies. Jeez. Very
So
dangerous.
it wasn't the zombies that got him.
Yeah.
So you're going to make your way kind of back down here? Is this?
Yeah. I guess without interruptions, Aelia would move toward the south until she got to the edge of the crater. And then she would find a place in the crater where she could ceremoniously toss Gal's body into the flame.
Zagmira will offer up kind of a leather binding. It looks like she's like torn it off of a book or something like that. And she offers this up. She says, why don't you send his crown with him? And she offers the binding up to kind of bind his crown to his hands, if you will.
Aelia actually is surprised by Zagmira's I don't know, offering in how nice she is being, but she accepts the binding and does just that, because she knows that Gal would like to be with his crown.
Okay. Yep. So you can find a spot that has like a little bit of an overhang, you know, so you can feel confident that, you know, he's gonna successfully make it to the lava or the magma, and with his crown kind of bound to his hands, you can drop him in.
Ulfgar pulls out his bone flute and starts playing a
Oh
very,
god damn it!
very sad tune at this point, you know. But
Dirge.
yeah,
Dirge for Gal.
So
Beautiful. Yeah, Aelia then gently tosses his poor little body off into the lava.
Ulfgar casts Featherfall on it.
Okay.
Oh, the corpse will drift.
Yep. So it slowly kind of drifts down as Ulfgar plays his flute, and after after the battle and making your way back down to the magma crater, it is kind of as the sun sets as well. Yes. And yep, Gao's body is received by the magma, and it envelops him, and yeah.
The last couple notes of the song are a little bit shaky. Ulfgar stops.
At this point, Aelia is openly weeping for her little friend.
Okay. So Zagmira and Orvex wait patiently during this kind of impromptu ceremony, and what would you like to do?
Well, you said
at this point.
It's turned to night.
It is, after you kind of spent most of the morning kind of walking up there, had a big fight, and then spent afternoon for a solemn walk back.
Maybe try and find shelter in one of these nearby buildings.
Okay.
And then we set up there for the night, and then make out in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Or set out in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Okay. So you can pick a building. First one looks a bit kind of too broken to be useful, too full of rubble, but next one you look in has enough kind of a roof standing and walls standing to be a bit more helpful for your dome. So you can set up your hut and camp for the night. And while I hate to end on a sad note like this, I do think it's probably a good point for us to stop. Was kind of hoping that today would be your last session in Omu, but I think we have a little bit more left to go. So thank you for playing, and I'm very sorry about Gao.
It's part of the adventure. Part of the adventure. I'm so glad I used my once a day ability on that roll, because I have no idea what would have happened. But yeah. Oof. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks viewers, thanks players, thanks DM for another game of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, Doom of Annihilation. Tune in next time, folks, and we'll see you then.
I'm just gonna go eat a bucket of ice cream.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.